Hello viewers, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Let's Play MLB 12 Road to the Show. In the last episode, Landon Collins pitched his first game and he did very well. Very impressive for a first start. This episode, he will pitch his second game, and definitely a different result. We will also see Landon's first training session. So, without further ado, let's get started. And it is a sim game training session. Sim game training sessions are essentially the same exact thing as a regular game, except you have 9 chances to get a good or better result. And it's not too hard. Just don't give up a hit or don't throw a ton of pitches and you should be good to go. So Landon shouldn't have too hard of a time. But to be completely honest, viewers, it's going to take up probably a third of this video. That's why I'm not particularly fond of the training sessions. As you'll see, they give you, good points, training points into your stats that you definitely need. But I'd rather just, play a game, get the training points, and put them in that way just because it takes too long, I feel. Especially there are some training sessions that I find very annoying, and we will see them soon enough, unfortunately. So while we are watching this, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the state of this series. As I'm sure many of you are aware, MLB 13 comes out in 3 days. Comes out on Tuesday, March 5th. And I just pre-ordered it. I'm very excited about that. But what are we going to do with Landon? I don't really necessarily see a point of continuing Landon's story. He's good, but seems like he's going to be a career minor leaguer. I don't think he's going to make it to the majors before Tuesday, unfortunately for him. But, baseball isn't for everybody, so he tried his hardest, but it's just not going to be good enough. So, anyway, I'm going to definitely start a new series with MLB 13 Road to the Show. And I wanted to know what you guys thought. Do you want to see another starting pitcher, closing pitcher, position player? Position players are definitely cool, but they take much longer to complete a season. And as a result, I usually stick with pitchers. Closing pitchers are the fastest. And then starting pitchers, and then anything besides catcher. Because for catchers, you need to call the pitches, and it takes forever. I don't know if they changed that for MLB 13, but as far as MLB 12, you can't skip calling pitches, and I just do not find it enjoyable at all. Although I think if I played baseball or softball, I would definitely like the idea of being a catcher. But no, not en route to the show, so sorry viewers, but that's definitely not happening. It will take entirely too long. But besides catcher, what do you guys think? I personally like pitchers the best, like I said, because they take the shortest to complete and I can be particularly impatient. When I do pick position players, I usually pick players that start off with good power, because power is the best way to get training points fast because you can hit those home runs and they're always worth a decent amount. I like third baseman the most because they have good power, so it's easy to get through them quickly, and I like the idea of, being at the hot corner and having to go left or right constantly, but it doesn't necessarily work out that way in Road to the Show. Very rarely does a ball go down the line, and when it does, usually the third baseman is standing close enough to where diving isn't necessarily required. So it doesn't necessarily translate very well to Road to the Show, but I definitely like the idea of third baseman in real life. Also, like center fielders, like the idea of instead of diving left and right, you are sprinting left and right. And that definitely happens in Road to the Show, but center fielders, they start out with such poor power that it is really hard to move as quickly as I would like. So when I do pick center fielders, I usually give up. I usually stick with left fielders because their power is pretty good. So now that that training session is over, and would have been very difficult for Landon to fail, even though he came pretty close surprisingly, we will start our second game, and we are going against the Reading Phillies, which, in case you didn't know, viewers, they are the Phillies minor league team. Double A, and they are from Reading, Pennsylvania. They are 0-9, so definitely not starting off the year very well. And so viewers, much like last time, I will be showing you the last pitch of many of these at-bats. So first batter, and he starts the game off with a strikeout. Very nice start. Hopefully he can keep it up like he did in the last game. And with this batter, as you will see very shortly, the left fielder, thankfully he is a fast runner because that had the potential to be a double or even a triple if he missed it. Oftentimes, the outfielders in this game will dive when they have almost no chance of catching the ball, and singles will result in doubles or triples because of it. One of the many annoyances. Ooh, and fast shortstop, thankfully. So Landon gets out of the first inning unscathed. Second inning, and we're hoping for much of the same. So, viewers, do you have any superstitions when it comes to baseball or any sport in particular? Me, personally, it's not necessarily a superstition, but first pitch of the game by my team that I'm rooting for, if it winds up being a strike, I think to myself this game is going to be a good game. And if it's a ball, I still feel that they're probably going to win because I feel like my team is going to win against any opponent because that's the best way to watch sports. You don't want to go into a game thinking, oh, they're going to lose because it's no fun watching. But starting the game off with a strike definitely gets me excited. And of course, the second baseman ruins the perfect game. Throws it right into the dugout, and as a result, man on second because of the ground rule double. So, next batter, I don't know if it's necessarily because of the error, but as you'll see, Landon, he misses his spot rather badly. But all is well because the next batter hits a lazy fly ball out to center field, and Landon gets out of the potential jam. And yay, Landon's first at-bat, and it is going to be abysmal. Of course, there has to be a runner on first and third because it just makes it all the more painful when we see the result of this at-bat. Pitchers very rarely get hits when there are absolutely no points put into their batting stats, and it shows. I've just learned to cope with the embarrassment because the pitching stats are far too important to bother with batting, especially since you get very limited at bats. So he strikes out. No surprise. To be honest, I'm actually quite surprised that he managed 2 foul balls. So Landon Collins' first at bat results in a strikeout. No big deal though. This might be considered slightly bigger of a deal. Yeah, he tried to field it and it goes over his head rather embarrassingly. We will see a replay, and in the replay is quite obvious that he was having a little bit of an issue with his fielding. Thankfully, it still resulted in an out, and here we go. Yeah, nowhere close. Sometimes the fielding with pitchers can be pretty bad. I try and avoid fielding balls, and we will see that come into play later on in this episode, but they don't have the best arm strength, so oftentimes when they field the ball, they throw it too slow to get the batter anyway, so most of the time I will let one of the infielders get it unless I absolutely have to. Or if it's a pop-up, I'll often go after those, but there have been times where the ball went in and out of the glove, which is probably more embarrassing than what just happened to Landon. But it's okay because Landon, he will have no shame. Shame is not for baseball. And second baseman tries to redeem himself for the error earlier, but doesn't quite get there. Definitely an impressive dive nonetheless. It's okay, and this fourth inning, it goes from bad to worse, honestly. It is quite painful. Yeah, ground ball doesn't result in a double play though, unfortunately. And that will happen quite a few more times. We'll see. This is what I was talking about when I don't necessarily like to field the ball, and I like to get one of the infielders to field it, but sometimes it does not work out. Second baseman, who was covering second because the man on second was too far to get to it, and as a result, bases loaded, no outs, and single. Luckily, only 1 run scored, and the man on second did not come all the way around to score. So, another single, and man on second thankfully does not come around to score again, but there are still no outs and bases loaded. Not a very good situation to be in, especially for Landon, who is not an ace. So, next batter, sac fly. And yeah, the runner scores. But look at this. Ends up becoming injured. Apparently running down the line. He was busting entirely too hard because he must have pulled something. In real life, we don't like to see injured players, but en road to the show, I don't care. Thank God somebody who got a hit off of me is out of the game, because Landon, he needs these outs right now, and it's at 4-3, and he finally gets the second out of the inning that didn't result in a run scored. So he needs one more out in order to get out of this, and finally gets the ground ball that he needed much earlier. But it's okay. We're still holding the lead, and our team, they're decent. We can do this. But not with us batting. So another painful at bat. But it's okay. We'll just try not to embarrass ourselves and hope it works out for the best. Yeah, changeup runs way in on Landon. Highly doubt it was intentional. If it was, then that's a shame, because it's not like we're dominating them or anything. Another fail. No surprise. Well, maybe a little bit surprised that he actually managed to hit it, but no surprise that it didn't go anywhere. So far, so good. He didn't get hit, and he managed to make contact, and nice. It results in an out, but at least he put the ball in play. Very impressive. Maybe if it was just a few feet to the left, he would have gotten himself his first hit, which would have been probably a miracle with his stat. So, funny thing about this pop-up, yeah, I don't know what Landon was doing. I promise you, viewers, I did not hit the button to make him jump. I have no idea how that happened, but it was amusing nonetheless. I was definitely surprised when it happened. I almost didn't notice at first, because oftentimes when it's fairly obvious that it's going to be an out, I just do something else, check my phone or something. But you can never be too sure with AA teams. Many times have I seen a pop-up go in and out of the glove, and many times have I seen a fly ball go in and out of the glove. So you have to be a little careful, but the announcers usually let you know that something happened, and you will look at the screen and get frustrated. Always get frustrated with errors. They seem much more frequent this low in the minors, which, you know, would make sense, because the players are still trying to work out flaws and everything, but nonetheless, it's very frustrating when, even if it's not an earned run, if it results in a loss. So, Landon, as you saw, was getting tired. More fly balls. They're never good. He hasn't had very many strikeouts so far this game. He's had a decent amount, but nothing compared to last game. And also, besides the 4th inning, he's doing pretty good. Into the 6th. And he still manages to get the strikeout, speaking of which. So, even though he did have that very rough inning, Landon, he's doing very well. 5-3, and he gives up another hit right down the middle. Those are always the most frustrating, because you want to be able to just lean down and grab them, but you can't. Yeah, and the third baseman goes out. Landon follows just because, and last out of the inning. So, interesting. As you will see, Landon is set to lead off the bottom of the 6th. So, what do you think, viewers? Is he going to get pulled? One of the more interesting aspects of not having a designated hitter, when to pull the pitcher. So, as you will see, Yep, pinch hitter. And we get pulled. Not bad. 6 innings of decent work. Only 3 runs allowed. So, did he win? Did we get the win? No, we did not. Somebody blew the save. Shame on them. Probably Rick Young was the one who blew it. Maybe not, though. And yeah, not too bad. Interesting about the performance evaluator, it says that the 4th inning is a good inning. I'm not sure how they dictate what determines a good inning or a bad inning, but I would definitely consider the 4th inning not a good inning. So, 264 training points, definitely a good outing. And there you will see the string of poor results. But we get the quality start. And no training points put in anywhere except for the training session. So we're still 18th out of 19th of the organization. And as far as advancement goals are concerned, we're doing pretty well. Just 26 hits or less, and we will complete all 4 advancement goals. So I will try and get another episode out within the next couple of days before Tuesday, with Landon's probably last pitching appearance. We will see though. So viewers, don't forget to let me know, what do you want to see out of MLB 13? What position do you want the new player? And do you want to name them? Give naming suggestions, we'll see. So, thanks for watching and have a good day.